The Omoda 5, or C5 as it's also known, has been crash tested by Euro NCAP, ASEAN NCAP, the Australasian NCAP, ANCAP, and the Chinese NCAP. It received a 5-star rating from all 4 of them. We'll focus on the first 3 NCAPs. But let's take a quick look at the origins of Omoda. Omoda is a sub-brand of Chery Automobile, one of China's leading car manufacturers. It was launched with a clear focus on global markets, aiming to capture the attention of younger, tech-savvy drivers with its modern and stylish design approach. The O apparently stands for oxygen and Moda for mode. With that out of the way, let's look at the level of crash test protection the Omoda 5 provided to adults and children. Before we dive into the crash test ratings, if you are a subscriber to this channel, you would know that some manufacturers provide safer cars to developed countries than developing countries, that your vehicle's safety features must match those of the vehicle that was crash tested for the crash test rating to apply to it, that each regional NCAP applies specific criteria that might only be relevant to that area, and that a 5-star rating is not a guarantee that you'll survive a crash. So for example, if the crash test rated vehicle was fitted with pretensioner seatbelts all round and curtain airbags, and your vehicle only has ELR seatbelts and front airbags, the crash test rating for your vehicle would be different. Chinese manufacturers load their vehicles with active safety features, but the real-world application might be impractical or annoying. There's no point in paying for an active safety feature that you keep turned off, so do test drive the vehicles for an extended period with all the features on to see if you can live with them activated. In the Frontal Mobile Progressive Deformable Barrier Test, MPDB, and Full-Width Rigid Barrier Tests, both Euro NCAP and ANCAP, rated protection for the heads and bodies of the adult dummies as good and adequate respectively. Both penalized Chery and rated protection for the legs of the driver and passenger as marginal because of the risk posed to occupants by structures in the instrument panel and dashboard, and because Chery were unable to demonstrate the same level of protection to occupants of different sizes. The similar rating is no surprise, as Euro NCAP and ANCAP used the 2020 crash test protocols, which were introduced to harmonize crash testing and evaluation. ANCAP also uses the results of Euro NCAP's crash tests for its calculations. However, ASEAN NCAP, under its 2020 to 2025 protocol, rated protection for the driver's chest as marginal and protection for the legs of the driver and passenger as good to adequate. A marginal rating for chest protection indicates a higher chance of injuries, like rib fractures or other chest trauma for Omoda 5 drivers in the ASEAN region. These injuries can range from moderate to severe, depending on the impact severity in a crash. In the side impact, Euro NCAP and ANCAP rated protection for the driver's side dummy's chest as good, but reduced the rating for the head to adequate, as the curtain airbag did not open as intended. ASEAN NCAP rated protection for the dummy's head and chest as good. In the oblique pole test under Euro NCAP and ANCAP, protection for the driver's chest was rated as marginal, adequate for the head and good for the pelvis. No such test was undertaken by ASEAN NCAP. Clinking heads and whiplash protection tests were only done by Euro NCAP and ANCAP, and the protection rating for both were good. For child occupants, Euro NCAP and ANCAP, protection for the 6 and 10-year-old child dummies in the frontal and lateral impact crash tests were rated as good except for the neck of the 10-year-old dummy in the frontal offset, where protection was rated as adequate. If I were thinking of buying an Omoda and there was no regional NCAP assessment yet, then I would compare my vehicle's safety features with those listed by ANCAP on page 8 of its report. If the safety features match, then my vehicle is potentially a 5-star rated ANCAP vehicle. Next, I would take the vehicle on an extended test drive and note all of the active safety features that I find annoying or distracting, and reconcile myself with knowing that I would likely have those features turned off. There is, of course, the option of choosing a variant without those active safety features, but I would only do so if Omoda confirms in writing that the body shell's strength, integrity, materials, and crumple zones are exactly the same as the Euro NCAP and ANCAP crash-tested vehicles, and that no other changes have been made that might affect the structural integrity of my vehicle's body shell. Especially since Euro NCAP and ANCAP's crash test ratings for the driver and front passenger dummy's chest in the frontal crashes were rated as acceptable to good, but ASEAN NCAP rated them as marginal to acceptable. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more crash test reviews and safety updates on the latest vehicles.